Tjena allihopa! Idag är vi i London och filmar. Vi är faktiskt här hela byrån. Ska ha ett utbyte med en employer branding-byrå här i London. Vi ska träffa Ben Fox. Härligt namn, låter lite som Robin Hood, Ben Fox och Little John. Men han är social media manager på Blackbridge. Och vi ska prata om trender kring framförallt social media och hur du når ut med ditt budskap. Så häng med! What about fish and chips? Is that something you eat every day?
Every single day. It's just a smart way of utilizing the people that exist within your business.
So giving something instead of dancing. Yeah.
Unless you really want to do the dancing. You brought it up a few times.
Yeah,
so.
maybe I would like to dance on TikTok.
Hey, let's get to work.
Hi Ben.
Hi.
So you driving today?
Yeah, I'll be driving us today just for safety reasons.
Safety first.
Of course, while we're in the UK.
Let's say do.
Okay.
Let's get to work to get the good things done. You see the sun will shine. Let's get to work. Let's get to work to get the good things done. You see the sun will shine. Hey, let's get to work.
Great to be here, Ben, and thanks for taking me for a ride for a change.
Of course. Welcome to the UK.
Thank you. You drive on the wrong side of the road, so that's why you're driving today and not me.
Yeah, I mean, we could switch to the other side if you want. Would that be better?
No, I don't think so.
Safety first.
Hey, let's get to work.
So, actually, where are we?
So I've picked you up in a small town called Twyford. We are about 20 miles outside of London. So the reason I've done that today is because if we went into London, we would probably snail through the traffic so slowly we'd never see anything. So
Yeah.
I thought it'd be better for us to take a little journey. Wait, hold on, because we're getting beeped by a bus now.
Sorry, Buzz.
Yeah, what can we do?
Hey, let's get to work.
So you live out here.
Yeah, so I've lived out here for about 2-ish years now. So I had a little boy and we wanted to move out, get some more green space, some more fresh air. So we came out this way and, you know, we've talked about this, but with the working from home stuff, it makes it a lot easier to move out, right?
Yeah. What's your morning routine?
My morning routine. So I wake up very early. I have a 19-month-old son.
Yeah.
So he wakes up around 5:30 in the morning every single day. So we wake up. Normally we go straight downstairs. We get out as many toys as he wants to play with. We watch. I usually start my day with a bunch of kids' TV.
And the English breakfast. You know, the baked beans, bacon, all that stuff. Is that not your cup of tea?
I would have that maybe if I'd had 10 drinks the night before.
Yeah, okay.
What would you say is your least favourite part?
You have those small grey sausages. What's in it? Is it like intestines? Or?
I think it's best to not know
Okay.
what's in it.
Okay.
Hey, let's get to work.
And Blackbridge, the agency, tell me a bit about it.
So Blackbridge is a UK-based employer branding agency. We're independent, we're completely employee-owned, which is a big deal to us. And we are around 45 sort of experts. We have about 60 clients around the world.
So, working with social media, working with like the channels to, you know, creating the employer brands. So what would you say is the trends in that field?
Well, I've definitely seen a lot more requests for employee advocacy programs. So lots of clients really want to tap into using their employees and making the most out of their employees from an advocacy perspective. Quite often what we do is we create a playbook that has lots of guidelines, lots of do's and don'ts, but also just empowers that employee to be able to make smart decisions. It used to be that when we thought about employee advocacy, lots of employees were scared to do it because they didn't want to get in trouble, they didn't want to post the wrong things. So by giving them the guidance and the tools, we're able to then empower them, like I said, and give them that opportunity to talk on the brand's behalf.
So using your employees as channels for
exactly
your employee brand, sustainability, higher purpose, everything.
Exactly, and that comes from the insights that tell us that people buy people, right? They want to see what other people's experiences are.
People.
Exactly. They want to see what the experiences are. They want to see how people have gone through the same experiences they might. So it's just a fabulous way of telling a story without it just being a pure play brand message. It's telling it through the eyes of someone who's done it before.
So you said people by people. So is it also the authenticity?
Exactly. And also those people have networks, right, that we haven't been able to tap into from a brand perspective. So if you think about someone who is a software engineer and they may have done that for the last 10 years, the chances of them knowing other software engineers or other people in that field is obviously immensely high. So
talent knows talent.
Exactly. And doing that and being involved in those kind of advocacy programs is just a smart way of utilizing the people that exist within your business.
And what would you say is the most important thing to make those employees want to do this?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. So a lot of what I've learned in particular is that motivation is really, really important. So what we used to do a lot of, I'd say, we'd do a lot of incentives and competitions and leaderboards and that kind of thing, which is in some ways good, but in some ways demotivational, because if you start the program late or you don't post for a couple of weeks on social, you may drop down, you lose interest, you can't get back. So what we're seeing at the moment is there's lots of personal branding messaging going out there, and people are really interested, employees are really interested in boosting their own personal branding for their career prospects, for how they're seen internally, for their own reputations. So enabling them to be part of and to be a spokesperson for the brand hugely helps them.
So is that employee branding? Is that, helping the employees to brand themselves in the employer brand?
Yeah, exactly. And we give them, for example, training. So if we said, okay, this is how to update your LinkedIn, this is how to figure out the keywords, this is how to change your header banner and all the functionality things that they need to know. So give them the confidence so that they feel comfortable and that they're putting the right foot forward when they start.
Yeah, I would think that people who listen or see this episode would think, how do we balance the push and pull in using our employees as channels for our messages?
Yeah, I mean, I think for sure, and I think the integration of both is quite key. I think we do, of course, want to keep pushing messages through the brand channels, but utilizing employee advocates. For example, I'm starting to work on a program now for a financial services brand who are using around 700 to 800 employees in this program. So you can see the kind of scale that can give you and the kind of ripple effect that would have on the number of people you could potentially reach.
Hey, let's get to work.
So Ben, you mentioned the word program. So this employee advocacy program, what could that look like?
So traditionally it looks like we first have to identify the people we want involved and people that will be motivated to be involved. It then involves
ambassadors.
Exactly. people volunteer to do this, so there's no obligation to be involved. We then give them the tools that they need, so we usually provide training. A lot of what we then do is we sort of have monthly workshops, so those workshops will involve upskilling them. So if we take LinkedIn as an example, how can we upskill them to write social posts, to think about keywords, to follow other sort of competitors to see what they're doing? How can they create their own video content, and so on and so on, and then keep them going on this sort of program. And once you start, you find there's sort of a 25% of people that are really engaged and they really go for it and they just put themselves out there. And I think the important part is, as a brand, not to get too disheartened if not every single person who joins the program continues on it, because it is about them and it's about their experiences and it's about how comfortable they are sharing them.
And you want it to come from within them,
Totally.
otherwise they will stop doing it. So,
Absolutely. And also a good mix of personal and professional, so it's important that they talk about their life at the company, the things they're doing, and so on, but also from their own personal branding, talk about themselves, talk about their families, their hobbies and so on, because that will enable more people to see a bit of themselves in that person and therefore respond
so you want
accordingly.
to mirror yourself, that's
Exactly.
the thing. And of course, different competency groups use different channels, but would you say LinkedIn is still the biggest way of communicating this?
I think it depends on the roles. So if we're talking about, sort of traditional kind of white collar roles or more professional roles, yes, it is. But we are finding a lot of the time, if we're looking at early careers as an example, TikTok is a great platform for that kind of thing.
Hey, let's get to work.
Okay, so you said TikTok. So what would you say is smart ways to get through and out there with TikTok?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of ways. So a lot of brands get put off by TikTok because they think they're going to have to do some crazy wacky stuff and also non-stop dancing, non-stop, trends and that thing. Yeah, exactly. I think what we try and think about is two things. One, you don't necessarily need to have an account because you can have paid social ads where you can run ads that hit a target audience but don't necessarily mean you have a profile. The other one is stripping it back to the basics. So if you're targeting an early careers focused audience and you think about what they need to know, it's probably the basics of work. It's what do you dress like, how do you handshake, what do you want to do for interviews. All that stuff is valuable information to them that they're going to get so much more impact and value out of than you doing a crazy dance every single week.
Okay, so you add value to those who are looking for a job to make them do a better interview or
exactly.
So,
and they will remember that. So even if they don't work for you now and they work for you later, they'll remember that great positive experience.
So giving something instead of dancing.
Yeah. Unless you really want to do the dancing.
Yeah.
You brought it up a few times.
Yeah,
so.
maybe I would like to dance on TikTok.
Okay.
Hey, let's get to work.
Okay, Ben, so what do you think about when I say Sweden?
Well, two things come into my mind. One is IKEA.
Okay.
And the other one is ABBA.
Yeah. Football is a really big thing here in the UK. Do you have a team?
Yeah, I do. So I'm a big football fan, actually.
Okay.
So I support Spurs, so Tottenham Hotspur. I actually wondered if you might ask me about this. We have players now that are Swedish, so some famous ones.
Maybe
so
I should know those.
maybe.
But,
I mean, my pronunciation will be awful, but Dejan Kulusevski, Eric Edman, and we have a young guy that we just signed called Lucas Bergvall.
Okay,
who's
Lucas
young,
Bergvall.
Yeah. Oh, you should definitely go to the Tate Modern.
Tate Modern?
Yeah, that's such a great place. It's more of an art gallery, but it's just a really nice place to go. It's on the riverside. There's lots of cool cafes, lots of nice things going on, street art, street music. So definitely go to that if you can. I think you should definitely take a trip to somewhere like Oxford Street. It's wildly busy.
Yeah.
It's cool. There's lots going on there, lots of shopping.
Oxford Street.
Yeah, it's like our main shopping street in the centre. So definitely go to that if you like that kind of thing. There's tons of nice things to do. I think just try and eat as much as you can.
Do you have any guilty pleasure?
Yeah, too many. I think the first thing that came into my brain was pastries, croissants, cookies, anything sugary.
Yeah.
I think that's my biggest guilty pleasure.
So if we would stop, what would you take? You would take a caffeine, non-caffeine coffee. That was really long. A non-caffeine decaf coffee.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's not my mother tongue, so I really love that you have so many palm trees. That they survive here.
I don't know how they survive because we have 10 months of bad weather.
Yeah. Okay, so now we need a coffee. Cheers, Ben.
Cheers.
Great having you in the car. Or for being in your car. So Ben, what's in your bag?
So what's in my bag? So I went for a chocolate rocky road, which is biscuits, chocolate, raisins and marshmallows. So I think it's quite healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about fish and chips? Is that something you eat every day?
Every single day, without fail. No, I think I've had fish and chips once in maybe the last 10 years. But it is good.
Yeah.
But I think it's about 3,000 calories per serving.
I know.
Are you going to have that while you're here?
Probably. Yeah. And you said 300,000 calories.
3 million calories, yeah.
Okay, Ben, so we are almost there. So what would you say is the key takeaways from our ride together?
I think from an employer brand perspective, it's important to think a lot about employee advocacy. I think it's such a big topic now. It's something that lots of brands are doing and you don't want to get left behind.
No.
I think another thing is social media is so big, so important now. It's not a kind of standalone piece on its own. It's something that needs to be integrated with the whole of your employer brand marketing mix. And yeah, it's been a nice conversation, so thank you.
Yeah, it has been. Oh.
Oof, how are we going to get through here? That was expert level driving.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But I pulled my tummy inwards. You felt that?
It was a tense moment, yeah, for sure. Right, so here we are.
Super, thank you for the ride,
Of course.
Ben. And we'll see you at your office tomorrow.
Absolutely. I'll bring the pastries.
Hey, let's get to work.
Nu är vi ju i the UK edition och har precis fått en ride med Ben Fox och det som han trycker på som jag tycker vi kan ta med oss, det är ju vikten av att använda sina medarbetare i kommunikationen med potentiella medarbetare. Hur tränar vi, hur stöttar vi och hur får vi medarbetarna att vilja dela företagets olika insikter kring sitt arbetsgivarvarumärke. Det tycker jag är någonting som känns spännande framåt. Vi ses, tja!
Let's get to work to get the good things done. You see the sun will shine. Let's get to work. Let's get to work to get the good things done.
Core work, work,